Peace. Today's Supreme Mathematics is Wisdom, Build, or Destroy. And we're going through the Allah Power Rule month. This is your brother Powerborn Allah. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to the young queen Amun Mathematics that I saw down there in H Medina. Man, seeing that video, and I've seen the young sister build before. It's like that's what we strive for. That if you ever be like, wait, what's the purpose? That's the purpose right there. Because it got to live on through them. And wait a second, either this gas just dropped. I just paid $4.14. I'm in Indiana, I-now for the civilized and wise. And it's $3.99 over here in Indianapolis. What? So, yeah, I progress. It's just beautiful. And her going through that Wisdom Builder Destroy degree in your 1 to 40, better than most of y'all jive turkeys who find a reason to deflect when being questioned and examined. Yeah, I said it. I've seen it in person, and I definitely see it a lot online. I swear. But seeing that young sister, you know what? Woo, make me want to blow the top off of some stuff. But I ain't gonna do it. But I tell you, that young sister being right there in the cipher, not online, not typing, not thumb gangstering. If that don't make you look at this and say, I need to take this seriously, I need to stop effing around, I don't know what else. I don't seriously. I mean, we got the elders from the 60s and 70s and the 80s, you know what I mean? And the 90s, all of that. And to now, and you see that, and knowing what people went through, for us to still be able to talk about this nowadays, to even the court cases and butt whoopings and jail time and all of that people went through just so you could say, peace God, peace earth, just to be able to say, who is the original man? The original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, creator, player, father, civilization, and God of the universe. So you had a knowledge on how to have your babies. Man, but y'all be playing with it. Y'all be, hiding and jumping in trap doors when you feel a little heat come towards you, like, oh no, you gotta go talk to him, not me. That man, I have no mercy, no grace or anything, because I see that and I know what can be done, and then y'all jive turkeys be out here bull jiving. But Wisdom, Build, or Destroy. You got to be wise. Even now, I have to be wise with what I say, because it's either going to build what's right or destroy what. But also, it's either it's going to build up what's right or it's going to destroy what's wrong. Because either people will be offended, they'll be like, oh, he on some da. Great. One less person. One less. Because, you know what I'm saying? We look at the wisdom degree and the build or destroy degree in your 1 to 14. Why do we have a hard time? Why do we have a hard time with people who say they live in this way of life? Why? Why do we have a hard time in 2026 AD? And then when you realize why you having a hard time, we got to do what? Expose their filthy ways and run them from amongst us. See how I do that? And then you talk about the wisdom, ability, story degree. Let me kick that lyric, because if the young queen can do that, the young moon can do that, I can do that. Let's have that challenge. Let's make that the challenge, the wisdom, ability, story degree challenge. Jump on here, ain't no papers. I'm driving around and spit it. What were Yakub's first rules and regulations, including all laws enforced while manufactured devil? Answer: Yakub's first rule was to see that all his followers were healthy, strong, and good breeders. If not, he sent them back. All that was not good in multiplying, and that they should marry at the age 16. Next, Yakub gave his people law and birth control, which was to be enforced while manufacturing the devil, which was to destroy their like and save the unalike. This, which means to kill all the black babies and save all the brown babies. This law being given to all doctors, ministers, nurses, and cremators. The doctor's law was to examine all those that were designed to marry must first be qualified by the doctor. In return, he qualified or disqualified them to the ministers. The ministers who would only marry those that were unalike. The nurse's law was to kill the black babies at birth by sticking a pin in its head or feed it to some wild beast and tell its mother a lie that her baby was an angel baby and that it was only taken to heaven, and that someday when she dies, he would have secured a home for her in heaven. But save all the brown babies and tell his mother that she was a lucky mother and that her baby was a holy baby and that she should take good care of it and to educate it, and that someday when he grows up, he'll be a great man. All doctors, ministers, and nurses Yakub put under the death penalty if they failed to carry out the law. Also, the cremators who would burn the black babies whenever the nurses bring them, and death to anyone that revealed the secrets. Yakub also had other rules and regulations which are not mentioned in this lesson. Now, you think about those characters mentioned in that degree. The same way, and I read this some years ago in the Power paper, the same way Yakub had those doctors, ministers, nurses, and cremators, and there's some other ones not mentioned, but the same way, and people just couldn't get to him, and the process they had to go through to even become one of his grafted people, it's the same way we have to have people to protect us, protect our women. Women gotta want to be protected. Women gotta want to be protected. Do I need to say that again? But you know what I mean? We gotta be those doctors. We gotta examine all that come amongst us. We gotta examine all those that we're choosing to have children with. We gotta examine those who we are choosing to be side by side with. Brother, the God told me, guys, stop rushing to be a minister and be a doctor first. Because the doctor actually is first in that degree. You got to get examined before you can get married. And then, and here's the actual fact, and this is the importance of the woman in our ciphers. She's the one that's either going to let us know she got to be qualified. She got to qualify herself to be the one to kill off that which is weak. She got to be the one to stick the pin in that which is and kill off that wild, whatever, that beast, that savage. She got to have that ability too, not just us. And then also, she'd be qualified to also tell us who's right and is that. She could see it for herself, not to be totally dependent on her God or the brother that taught her. You got to be able to do that yourself. Because this is ourself, Lord and Master. Not ourself and or not I and him, or I and her. It's ourself. The culture is our God. Right? I said culture is ourself, Lord and Master as well, because I had to learn that it's man, woman, and child. And a lot of times on the surface, and I get people like, no, might disagree with how that I draw that up, but on the surface, and a lot of times that first impression, when somebody looks this up on the internet, when somebody might come across you on the street, in the mall, library, whatever, at the movies or something, but that first impression, if you jump and say the culture is our God, they instantly connect that to man, as though the culture is only about us. But the culture is about who? Man, woman, and child. So Yeah, man. I'm gonna wrap it up once again. Back to the young queen. Our moon mathematics. You are fantastic. This is your big uncle Power, all the way up here out of C Medina. Yeah, man. Keep it going. May your righteousness spread like a powerful antidote. I ain't gonna say virus. A powerful antidote that inoculates the society, causes them to be all wise and civilized. And with that, I say peace.